Okay, so Call of Duty and Ranked were terms I thought I'd never use in the same sentence. For the record, I do play a bit of COD, but I'm not a major fan of it. In fact, sometimes I can't stand this game. You know, I don't really put too much time into this franchise. There are other games I play besides this and have way more fun. So you know, COD is a game where I poke my head through the door from time to time to see what's up really.
You lying? Yeah.
All jokes aside, compared to the time spent on other games, COD is definitely up there in terms of playtime. The only jarring thing about it is the constant updates, file size is extremely large, and for some reason they've merged MW2 with MW3. It's like some aggressive marketing tactic to get you to buy Modern Warfare 3. I only bought it a few weeks ago and no further download was required, everything was ready to go, which I guess helped in this instance, but it's a bit annoying if you have no plans to buy it, because for those of you who just own Modern Warfare 2, your updates may need to accommodate for a game you haven't even purchased. The game is just called Call of Duty now, which generalizes it, but last year if I wanted to play Modern Warfare 2, why am I launching the game only to see Modern Warfare 3 content at the top? Then having to scroll down to the content I actually own, then launch it all over again. It's a minor inconvenience, but these games should have been separate, to be honest. I don't know why they had to make it long. But the reason I played so many hours of COD in the past is mainly for multiplayer, Warzone, zombies and co-op. I kinda stay in my own lane, I've never really branched out to the big leagues to play against more serious players. For me, small mosh pit, shipment, hardpoint, kill confirm, give me that and I'm happy. You know, I could play these all day. Win or lose, I didn't really care. Now disclaimer, I am very average at this game. Sometimes I pop off, sometimes I get absolutely shit on, so ranked has never been something that's crossed my mind because that's a whole different ball game. A mode where dying can be the make or break for your team winning. Compared to public lobbies, you can expect ranked players to operate a little differently. Everyone's less aggressive, more heavy on holding corners, focusing on the objective, and as a bit of a reckless player in public lobbies myself, I've got my work cut out for me. Slide cancelling won't be enough for these pros, but it'd be interesting to see how I do. And also, a quick side note, my friend really likes ranked play and he's been playing multiplayer with me this whole time, so why not get out of my comfort zone and suffer with him. Now unfortunately I didn't record the first match, but that was a win. I'll try to see if I can at least get the score up for that, but in the meantime let's take a look at the other matches. So game 2 was CDL Hardpoint on Skid Row. Most of you know what CDL is if you've played ranked, but it's essentially a bit of a respawn delay in between deaths and friendly fire is enabled, so you can't aim carelessly. It wasn't a bad game, you know. I ran with the MCW, a solid weapon which I believe was meta at the time. Now I was moving a bit clueless at the start. The last time I played this map was during the beta for Modern Warfare 3, so I needed a moment to figure myself out here. I got my first kill of the round here, but should have kept moving as someone else came up behind me. Now given that the enemy team had the hardpoints locked down during the start, the best thing we could do was flank round. You know, catch them lacking so the rest of our team could push. We actually had a good hold here, jumped on top of the bin to get a better angle and of course avoid shooting my teammate. He died, but I got a nice double in return. He quickly came back and cleared up this side of the map and we managed to overtake them in points. I stayed to get the surplus points while my team headed to the next hardpoint. Another good hold here, managed to get another double before getting blended. Good play by the enemy, you know, he repositioned to get the drop on me. My teammate already pushed down that alley, so I should have really focused my attention elsewhere. There was a lot of heavy back and forth, you know, we'd take the lead, then the enemy would take the lead and vice versa. I was at least starting to aim at the right spots, but I was still getting dropped by the enemies most times. It got really close at the end. The enemy literally needed a singular toe on the point to get the win, but luckily our teammate came in clutch with a double, whilst the rest of our team went to the next objective. And from there we held it and got the win. Well played to everyone. Things did get a bit toxic towards the end. I mean, it wouldn't be Call of Duty without it. I'll be honest, I don't really have much to say in these situations, win or lose, and since I'm on PlayStation, typing out a message on controller will take way too long. If they're not one-word messages, you'll be back in the lobby before you can press send. For anyone playing ranked or COD in general, I'm sure you all know the golden rule. Try not to end on a loss, especially if you're with friends. Every match you play will have a losing team, and with ranked carrying more weight, it's going to get heated. Everyone should have that expectation. Just ignore the trash talk and move on to the next game is what I'd suggest. In game 3 was Hardpoint on Rio. Now I was using the AMR9, I really like this gun in multiplayer, but it wasn't doing it for me in ranked. I was running the shorter barrel for more ADS speed, but that sacrifice makes this thing shoot pillows. I lost plenty of engagements and to be honest I should have changed weapons as soon as possible. I want to get it to work but I'm not sure if I can. Now I got the drop on these guys early on in the match, but other than that, there's nothing much to show here really. Now I did try the little bicycle spot where only your head is visible. Shout out to Lunchtime for this advice. I did watch a video for some good positions when running hardpoint on this map, and the bike spot makes it so you're harder to hit. Now I could see, but I couldn't actually aim, so I actually switched to the bin position, which was a bit more risky, but my team managed to nail this guy on the point anyway. We ended up with a big lead and took the win. You know, I went 16 to 19, which was to be expected. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the AMR9 in the future though. It's either that or I find a better build. Game 4 was Control on Highrise, and believe me, I got absolutely destroyed during this match. I barely got any kills during the first 2 rounds. It was an absolute shambles. My teammate even expressed his frustration, not once, but twice. He asked me to get more than 2 kills, so I did.
We lost that round. Prepare for the next one.
Does anyone know what swear word consists of just 2 letters and is followed by another word? This was a rough game full of misplays. There were multiple engagements where if I'd just been a bit more patient, I could have secured the kill. Like this for example. He was going to peek eventually, but my lack of patience cost me my life. But yeah, I've got no words really. It only started to pick up for me during the last round where I managed to get a few more kills, but other than that, this was a hard carry. I ended up with a final score of 14 kills and 27 deaths. My worst match so far. That was rough. Highrise isn't a difficult map to learn, so I'll get the hang of it eventually, and maybe an SMG would have been better here since most of my engagements were at shorter ranges. No one was really trying to cross map each other. I can only imagine what the rest of the team were thinking after seeing my score and the fact that my emblem was on fire from a win streak.
Soft. Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch.
Game 5 was Search and Destroy, beginning with one of the dumbest misplays ever. I managed to secure a kill here, but was suddenly confused as to why I couldn't defuse the bomb, because I forgot you actually had to pick up the device, which was most likely located on the other side of the bomb. So yeah, round 1 was a major throw. We actually ended up being 3 points down, but luckily my teammates managed to clutch up the next one with a solid hold on the bomb, and then a team wipe to make it 3-2. On the next round, the enemy actually went for A this time. I managed to kill one and then get an assist on the last guy going for the plant, equalizing the scoreboard. The enemy then managed to get another win over us on B-bomb. I will say the spot by the stairs at the very back is a good spot. I was too preoccupied with the thought of someone popping out from the left, but this guy held the angle well, all things considered. At round 8 we managed to hold B-bomb really well, and with a successful plant the enemy were forced to push and we secured the win. During round 9, the enemy made a transition to go to A instead. I died fairly early, but my team managed to wipe the team and defuse. And finally, round 10, the enemy made a good flank to B-bomb. At this point when I died, I was stuttering like a madman trying to tell my teammate where this guy was. All I had to say is that he was under the stairs, but it sounded more like...
What? What?
And with that, we secured the win on Search and Destroy. 6 kills, 6 deaths, broke even. Not the most exciting match for me, but hey, we move. Game 6 was Hardpoint on Invasion. I decided to run with the Striker this time, arguably one of the better SMGs for me anyway. Literally has no recoil and the damage is acceptable. You know, we managed to grab an early lead here, and for some reason I went back to the AMR9. I can't remember why I did this. I think in the back of my mind I still wanted to make this gun work. I think what I should have done for the AMR9 was taken off the extended mag. The drum isn't really necessary. I'm not getting that many back-to-back kills to be running around with the drum mag. Most people are running the standard 30 rounds on SMGs and ARs for ranked anyway, which makes sense because there's only 4 enemies and engagements aren't going to be as consistent as a shipment match or 10v10 for example. You actually have time to reload and reset if you do pull back, so lesson learned. I think I even put an extended mag on the striker as well. I gave it 48 rounds, and my original reasoning was simply because of COD timing. You know, the standard experience where as soon as you start reloading, that's when the enemy shows themselves, comes around the corner or whatever. I kind of wanted to always be prepared, but 30 rounds should be enough for ranked anyway. I would have had a faster ADS speed, and I do have a secondary which I could have used more as well. I managed to get a couple more defends and reposition well to get the drop on the enemy, but sometimes my pushes were a little too aggressive, which would flip spawns in their favour, so it's something I have to be careful of. But we did hold the lead for the majority of the match. Okay, this shot of this guy slumped out on the chair had me laughing way more than I should have been. But anyways, the game ended 250 to 192. I got 17 kills, 16 deaths. Meh, shout out to Rixie boy, this guy went crazy this match. Now if you're wondering why my friend isn't glowing anymore, he accidentally backed out of a game search, and I believe you are penalised for that by treating it as a loss. And we couldn't join a match for a few minutes. I guess the game thought we were trying to lobby hop or run an exploit or whatever. He is on PS4, so the game may have been a bit slow to respond to his inputs, which I think led to him pressing circle one too many times. I was with him when this happened, so I'm surprised I didn't lose mine as well. I hear that this punishment also applies if you're disconnected. Now I've had some horrible internet a few years back, so I'm lucky I got Ethernet when I did, otherwise there'd be a lot more problems here. Now game 7 was another hard point on Skid Row. I won't bore you with all the details, but it was another really close game. 250 to 248, I went 19 kills, 19 deaths. Broke even, but a win's a win. And lastly, game 8 was another hard point on Invasion for like the 3rd time now. I ran the striker again. I think I changed the barrel at this point, but I did get a bit more action this time round. Got some kills and defends on this one. Now this map especially was kind of growing on me. I'm not sure why, probably because it feels like it's the easiest to learn. This map came up quite a lot during my first session of ranked, so I was starting to get used to it fairly quickly. Obviously each map typically has 3 lanes, but for Invasion it's mostly grounded in a sense. There aren't many positions where you can go upstairs or stand on top of buildings like in Karachi, although I believe there is a roof area you can climb up to from the enemy spawn in the back left corner, which is actually really good for overlooking one of the points for this game mode. And obviously to the right the area is pretty open, so it's not too hard to tell where the enemies will be concealing themselves. But yeah, overall it's a nice map. I believe Modern Warfare 3 has been removing ranked maps, or is at least in the process of removing some, but hopefully Invasion stays a while. I like it. To be honest, I don't have a problem with any of the maps, it's just a question of learning them. If I played Modern Warfare 2 back in 09, I probably would have had an easier time with the OG maps. It's just going to take a little longer. But yeah, we took a strong lead at the beginning, but miraculously the enemy team turned it around and managed to overtake us and dominate through the middle of the game. We eventually regained control, held the next few points as much as we could, and took the win. So that was that. 8 wins in a row. My rank was glowing purple now, which was cool to see, but I'll be honest, some of those matches could have gone way better and I did get carried in some. My KD was pretty average most games. I think I only went positive for 1 match and the rest were mostly equalizing on kills and deaths or going negative. I think I went negative on 2 games, so yeah, I've got my work cut out for me if I want to keep up with the pros, but overall I'd say it's a good attempt for a first timer. Now at this point I said to my friend, let's try go for 10 straight wins, and how badly did I jinx this? Game 9 was a complete failure. The enemy team were very dominant, they had most of the hard points locked down and always got the jump on me. But props to them, they played very well. Can't say the same for myself, I hold my hands up. I could have done way better here, but my friend and I weren't going to end on a loss and I was so close to bronze 3, so we tried one more match anyway. Now game 10 was hardpoint on Skid Row, and even though we can't choose the game modes we want, hardpoint seems to be the more common game mode. During my win streak it appeared in 5 out of the 8 games I played, so yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if that's the same for those of you who played ranked as well. Now there was a bit of accidental team killing. I was a little bit more aggressive this round, so sometimes I'd get shot in the back, usually down narrow alleys because they were trying to help me take out the person I was engaging. But no harm done, it does happen. I guess you could take it as collateral, but it's very rare. You probably get more team kills in hardcore for example. But nonetheless, we managed to secure a win on this game. It was okay coming off a loss, but unfortunately finished just about negative, but hey, a win's a win, and after 10 games, 9 wins, 1 loss, I made it to bronze 3. Based on the gameplay, I still have a lot to work on, but I think I did reasonably okay aside from games 4 and game 9 where I got absolutely destroyed. But yeah, that's been my first 2 hours in Ranked. It's a very different experience compared to multiplayer, given that your lives are a lot more important in this sort of game mode, and it's obviously slower paced. You know, you really have to watch your corners and learn these maps inside out, which I hope to do eventually if I do continue. You know, this is nowhere near a shipment lobby, but overall, you know, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been Dre, take care and see you next time.